Hello there, and welcome back to the Endless Kingdom. I'm your host, and today on a not-so-critical review, we're going to be looking at an historical drama from 2012, Red Tails. Red Tails is a war film based around the Tuskegee Airmen, America's first all-African-American fighter wing. First fighter group to allow all African-Americans to fly, period. The discrimination of the past just never ceases to be pointless. But anyway, the film details the Tuskegee Airmen during their earliest victories, the victories that had allowed them to go as far as they did. Though in a highly dramatized fashion, as one would expect, and fictionalized as well. The entire cast we see is in fact all original characters, loosely based off the actual members of the Tuskegee Airmen during World War II. The film mainly focuses on a squad within the group who are composed of the by-the-books yet alcoholic Captain Julian, call sign Easy, the extremely gung-ho Lieutenant Little, or call sign and Lightning, the sarcastic Lieutenant Watkins, call sign Deacon, and the young upstart Lieutenant Gannon, and who prefers the call sign Ray Gun, but everyone till the end and called him Junior. Not really sure if that was deserving, but that's how it went. The film mostly focuses around the squad, its interactions, and how they fictionally partook in some of the more pivotal engagements of the Tuskegee Airmen. But that wasn't a bad aspect. Led to some nice interactions, especially when it came into Lightning and Easy. A lot of conflict between those two, especially since Lightning disregarded Easy's every order throughout most of the film. Then there's Ray Gun, and his attempts ends up being seen as more than just the upstart, only for that to have some consequences down the line. And there's Easy trying to overcome his alcoholism, Lightning thinking it's okay to be a reckless gung-ho pilot, though he does mellow down to a degree. All the characters go for a bit of a mini-arc, except Deacon, and very consistent all throughout. And those mini-arcs do a good job in showcasing all the struggles the Tuskegee Airmen had to go through. First, when they weren't allowed to actually partake in the highly coveted escort missions. Then, when they finally started picking up steam, they weren't allowed out in officers' clubs despite being in officers in rank. And all the struggles they had to go through because of these scenarios. Depicted well when the Tuskegee Airmen's leader had to negotiate numerous times to get better missions and planes for his group. Now, while this film might be historically inaccurate in terms of the people involved, in terms of the events involved, well, it's quite accurate. Not to mention it's some of the best air combat I've seen in cinema. From the Tuskegee Airmen's first beach assault to their first escort mission, even the one time they managed to take out a destroyer, the depictions, well fictionalized to the characters, were quite accurate to how the records show them to be. Debated records in some cases, but does that matter for a film like this? This film has many ups and downs. Some of the ups for me is how the film doesn't shy away from showing the harshness of war alongside the discrimination the airmen faced. Discrimination which slowly gets better amongst the officers they interact with, most notably the bomber pilots they escort. Yes, characters in this film do end up getting injured or killed over numerous points. Well, it's not just the enemy German flyers of the Luftwaffe, of which one of them nicknamed Pretty Boy by the airmen and becomes essentially the main antagonist, but also amongst the airmen themselves. Some are shot down, some have crash landings, they just barely survive. There's even a bit of a POW story thrown in. And not in a way that feels like it was just there for the sake of it. That was quite the highlight. Now, I'm not entirely sure how many of these elements were historically accurate, but it gives the feeling of them being historically accurate close enough that it shouldn't detract. What is detracting is that that's outside of easy lightning ray gun and the unit commander, whose name currently escapes me. It's kind of hard to tell the airmen apart. There were many times where I got Deacon and confused with another member of the Tuskegee Airmen. It took me a minute or two of listening to their voices to actually figure out who was who. Those moments didn't take away from my overall enjoyment, but they were there. Mileage may vary, but that's just how I felt about it. Overall, while this film is give or take on historical accuracy in some areas, it's a very enjoyable watch, and if you like thrills of air combat, it's definitely something that will catch your eye. But, as I always say, I'm not here to tell you if this film is good or bad. I'm here to state my opinion and through it let you decide if Red Tails is something you'd like to watch. So if you think Red Tails strikes your fancy, you can find it for easy streaming on Disney+. And if you enjoyed this not-so-critical review, you can like the video, leave a comment, share it around, and subscribe if you haven't. If you have, click the notification bell. Stay up to date on all future reviews. And until the next not-so-critical review, I've been your anonymous host of the Endless Kingdom, and I wish you all a good day.